Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Nantes, France. It's the opening day of the FIBA Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament 2016, and we'll be watching Venezuela and China here, a Group D game to start things off. 5 spots up for grabs for the Rio de Janeiro Games, and China most decidedly will be the favorites coming into this contest. A lot of people think they will go all the way. One of the real surprise packages the last year or so has been Venezuela, a team that really barely made it this far, finishing 5th last year at the FIBA Americas Women's Championship. Anyway, this is the lineup for today. Venezuela, China, followed by Cameroon and Argentina in Group B, Belarus, Nigeria, Group C, and then wrapping things up later tonight will be the home side, France. And you look right here, they'll be taking on Cuba. These are the teams that have qualified already for the Olympics. Brazil as the host, the USA as the world champions. Also Senegal, Canada, Japan, Serbia across the board there. Canada, all of the zone winners winning, and you've got the 5 spots up for grabs. I'm Jeff Taylor, joined by Mark Clark, who's seen his share of women's basketball over the years. And Mark, as we look at the FIBA rankings here of Group D, you see that Spain far and away the favorites, number 3, China number 8. I don't know if that flatters them a little bit. Venezuela at number 31, that's probably about right. China finished runners-up last year to Japan in the FIBA Asia Women's Championship, and you know they haven't missed an Olympics in quite a while, but they've got some work to do to make it this time.
Well, you saw on that graphic, Jeff, with Spain being an overwhelming favorite for its group with game 1, day 1, and we've got a crucial matchup. I think you're absolutely right. China are a little bit flattered by that high ranking, but that's based upon just years of great achievement in these tournaments. But like, this is an interesting matchup for me because Venezuela are one of those countries on the way up, and they're always going to be a dangerous team. They're going to get a big scalp one day in these types of tournament, and a win here could really put them in a pole position to get a qualifying spot. Intriguing matchup, different types of styles, but some key matchups that we can talk about as we head into the game.
And I think it's important to remember as you look at Chen Nun coming back to the Chinese national team. I think China probably under a little bit more pressure coming into this women's Olympic qualifying tournament than Venezuela, because quite frankly nobody expected them to be here. No, and all they've done is moved from strength to strength since finishing runners-up at the South America Women's Championships. So Tom Mar, whose Chinese team played Venezuela in the build-up, I think he probably feels confident but also wary.
Well, China are in a great spot having Coach Ma at the helm, because the expectation and the pressure is going to be huge, but he's done that and seen that throughout every sort of position he's had, and he's a regular taking national teams to Olympics, so I don't think he's going to feel that pressure, but one of the things he can do is prepare teams to win games at crucial moments. And after the anthems and things, we can talk about, I think, some key points, but Tom Ma is a big plus for this Chinese team.
Well, they led them to the semifinals back in 2008 at the Olympics. Here's Oscar Silva, experienced coach in his own right, delightful man, and thrilled to be here in Venezuela. I think no matter what happens, they've already been a big winner in the last couple of years, and especially by making it this far. So we'll see if they can leave these Chinese fans disappointed. But anyway, we're going to have a pause in the playing for the national anthems of both China and Venezuela. Well, that's what it's all about, folks. It's the national teams, it's the national anthems, it's playing for your country, playing for pride. And we're just a few minutes away from tipping off the FIBA Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament. And as a reminder, all of the teams here, all 12 teams, are going after one of the coveted 5 spots for the Rio de Janeiro Games. And it doesn't get any bigger than that. The referees for this opening game, you can see from France, Albania, and Zimbabwe. And the teams are going to go through their final warm-ups. Mark, China wearing the red, the customary red, and I dare say for a lot of people this will be the first time that they get to see the Venezuela team because they haven't been at the big tournaments. And you know, this is a major deal for this country. As you look at China's roster, a lot of experience in that roster.
Well, I think we've seen this team practice the last couple of days, and it is about tempo for this team. It's about depth. They've got a lot of depth on this line. They're going to want to try and play up the floor. They're going to want to try and push the tempo offensively and defensively. And as we see the lineup, like the number 7 for China, the Xiaoteng, she just contributes across the roster. And they've got to get that contribution deep into this roster because they're going to have to try and wear this Venezuelan team out. This Venezuelan team that we're going to see the starting lineup now isn't deep. 6 players largely in the rotation. Half the points come from 3 guys. And Waleska Perez, number 14, is really trying to create an international reputation for himself. She had a tremendous South American championship. But again, she's going to have to go 40 minutes. And you know that Coach Ma is going to get after this Venezuelan team. Both teams are going to struggle to take care of the basketball. Turnovers could probably decide this game. But Venezuela, in addition to taking care of the ball, have to absolutely own the glass because this Chinese team will statistically in previous championships out-rebound this lineup. And Ivania Marquez and Yosmar Corrales are just going to have to go to work on the glass. If they can look after the glass, this Venezuelan team, if they take care of the ball, could be up for an upset here. The great thing about them now, because of their men's success and everything else, they actually believe as a country they can win here.
Absolutely, the men winning the FIBA Americas Championship last year to qualify for the Olympics. Now, these are 2 players we wanted to highlight before the game, Waleska Perez and Gao Song there. 2 players that'll be crucial in their team's performances. You see Perez last year's numbers at the at the recent South American Women's Championship right across the board. And of course, Gao Song, a very important player that Tom Marr knows very well. It is his 2nd stint at the helm of China. He coached them at the Olympics in 2008 when they hosted it, got him to the semifinals. Then he also coached Great Britain at the Olympics in 2012, and he's gone back to China. And Oscar Silva, who has really turned things around for the Venezuelan basketball program 2013. If you measure success in terms of progress, you know, he's had progress every year, and this is an intriguing opportunity for Venezuela, and we just don't know if they're going to be up to the challenge. But certainly we know that they're going to come out and they're going to fight.
Well, and both teams realize if you've got Spain in your group, this game almost becomes, no disrespect to these teams compared to Spain, but this becomes a winner gets to the quarterfinal game. And you've got to hit the ground running in this tournament. It's a short tournament. Every game has something at stake. And if the loser here is on the back foot, so you can expect this to be intense. And I would expect the tempo to be very high. Also, there's going to be some nerves out there. Whoever takes care of the ball soonest could really start to exert an advantage.
Well, we haven't really mentioned Chen Nun coming back to the team, but you know, she had retired from the Chinese national team. She has come back. She's starting. She's going to jump center. We think she's got a cold, and her experience is vital, really, for this China team. And I think it was their defeat last year at the FIBA Asia Women's Championship that really convinced her to come back. Oh, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Nantes, France. It's the FIBA Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament. It's the opening game between China and Venezuela. And remember, the five of the teams here in this 12-team tournament will qualify for the Olympics. It doesn't get any better than that. And these players want to be a part of that. And driving inside already, number 6, Yosimar Corrales misses. The offensive rebound and putback is no good.
What a great thing, though, Jeff. She got inside. They right down the heart of defense straight away. That's not going to please Coach Ma.
Xiao gets it into Chen Nun, and the veteran puts up a left-hander, and Waleska Perez grabs that rebound. And Lu Wen, tough defender, she's got the assignment on Perez.
Perez is just a player. She just wants to play the game. Oh, nice job.
Look, no look, and drives right down. Kind of fakes it pass. Corrales, an aggressive start for her. And the body language already tells me that Venezuela are up for this. And Lu Wen is hacked down low by Corrales.
I think Venezuela in this game are going to have to see if China can make perimeter jump shots. They can't let China run that sort of flex types action. They've gone inside both times, China, and got good looks. Yeah, I'd be, to an extent, looking to see if China can make that perimeter game. And fill that blue keyway with a lot of white shirts. Try and force them to the outside. Because there's a big size advantage here for the Chinese. And if they really do execute that flex type action, they're going to get a lot of looks in the low post.
So both free throws good for China. Lu Wen, the veteran. And now Perez out on the perimeter. Gets it over to Corrales. Vani Marquez, the captain. And nice interior pass. And another foul called on this one, China, Lu Wen.
It's a little surprising. China are very little passive defensively. I'd have expected them to try and get the Venezuelan team put it on the floor a little bit more. But Venezuela are in control of the tempo at the moment. They're getting good looks. They're getting the opportunity to attack the hoop, both on the dribble and the pass. And Corrales has started like she really means to bring her game.
Corrales adds to her tally, now 4 points. Sun over to Xiao Ting, and facing a little bit of pressure. Chen finds Sun, and Sun puts it up off the glass.
Great patience there, a number of pass options there, but they still being aggressive, still trying to take it to the gut of the defense and move the ball really, really well. Again, Venezuela chasing a little bit too much.
Perez is going to launch a three. Good!
She looks like she's going to be an international player. It's going to excite this tournament. She can score anywhere.
Quickly to the other end. Nice, graceful move by Lu Wen, but quickly Perez gets it outside to Silva, and she misses everything, goes out of bounds. Defensive player of the year in Spain's Liga Femenina. Here was Perez. That was Silva. This is Perez drilling the three. Chen, and off the front of the rim, but the rebound cannot give China those second chances. They don't capitalize, however.
That's the first miss on the defensive boards, really passive defensive rebound, and Venezuela have to go to work on the glass. They can't give China second and third looks.
And the ball goes out of bounds, a little careless from Ivani Marquez, the captain.
Jeff, Silva and Marquez, to me, are going to be keys here. They're the other two players that can really contribute offensively, always score big in tournaments. They've just got to be efficient. If they're efficient and don't turn the ball over, this Venezuelan team does have points. They can score.
Three-point attempt for Chen, no good. And good play from Silva. And she races down the floor, gets blocked. Good hustle from Hong Depen.
She didn't back down, though. Again, they've got to be the aggressor of Venezuela. They can't be passive. Great work defensively. You can see why she's got that defensive tag.
Perez steps outside. Hands it off to Corrales. Three-point attempt is no good from Marquez. Ball goes out of bounds, however, and Venezuela, with Garcia challenging there, will retain possession.
And again, it's those other players on that Venezuelan team. Garcia doing a nice job just keeping it alive. They've got to find ways to contribute. And Perez and the other guards can be really, really important for Venezuela if everyone else performs the role.
Perez goes in with the left hand, follows up the shot. Now China with a chance to run. They get it up to Xiaoting and the ball goes out of bounds. So a good hustle from Venezuela getting back. Xiaoting thought she had an easy one.
You've got to like the release, though. They want to run the floor. So both teams trying to get down and get the early looks.
Liu Wen from the corner. And Silva with the hustle. Taps it inside to a teammate.
Jeff, for me, if there's a team here playing with the emotion and the quickness, it's the Venezuelans. Just making things happen.
It's like you said, it's now or never. And they've got to come out and put together a performance. They get it inside. And it's Ana Garcia, the 33-year-old.
That Silva's pass and awareness and vision on that penetration. Beautifully manufactured the bounce pass. And again, Chinese defense just passive.
Liu Wen again on the baseline. Gets it to Huang. Sun for three. And Perez with the rebound. So we've already seen Chen Nun come out of the game. So that cold for the veteran obviously bothering her. Venezuela step out of bounds. And we're going to see more substitutions coming for China.
This is exactly what we were talking about before. They've got the roster where it's almost as though Coach Ma is going to look at which combination is going to perform today. Whereas with Venezuela, what you see is what you get. There's going to be 5-6 players with a little bit of rotation. This Chinese team is going to have to try and be aggressive defensively and use that depth.
Xiaoting's come back into the game. There's Sun Mingchen. He's come in and doesn't hesitate, puts it up, and only gets the backboard.
See, at this point, you'd expect China to try and force the tempo a little bit defensively. Letting Perez control the tempo that Venezuela want when they've got that limited resource.
Garcia and rebound China. She had an open look midway through the opening quarter. Huang passes back to Liu Wen. He gets it back. And Huang settles for the jump shot, but a long rebound will not make Oscar Silva happy over there on the Venezuela bench. Chen puts it up. And another offensive rebound, and this time they're punished. Xiaoting putting it up and in.
Well, it's going to be the story. Can they work hard enough with their, with the lack of depth on the glass? Because China, at the moment, living on the glass. That's the only place they're really staying with this.
Well, Leonora Rivas is going to come into the game for Venezuela. Silva goes baseline, bounce pass over to Garcia, and rattles out.
Well, that's going to frustrate Garcia. She's normally a very, very efficient mid-range shooter. But she's missed two really wide open looks. The great story is they're getting the looks.
China passing it around, and Venezuela looking a little tired already. Huang, now Chen. Gets in the lane, and she was the recipient of a forearm right at the line. So Rivas is going to come in for Corrales. And substitutions as well for China again. Zhao Xifang coming into the game as you look at the replay. And also Wu Di is into the game. And the pass goes out of bounds. So Huang trying to get it down low.
Well, neither team is really like setting the world light when it comes to stats. We see the putback. Neither team really They're getting good looks, but neither team are knocking them down. That's obviously first game of the tournament.
Well, Perez doesn't hesitate, launches a three. And starting to see China start to assert themselves more on the glass. More rebounds. And Silva reaches in and commits the foul on Zhao Qingfeng. Well, we've seen Venezuela lead in this game. It'll be interesting to see how they respond if they fall behind. Right now, China looking to take the advantage, down one. And they are that was an alert play from number 8, Wu Di, who's come into the game. She gets the shot. She gets in she feels the foul coming. And the referee decides she was in the shooting motion and puts her on the line.
Yeah, that's literally the point that we were trying to make earlier in the game in terms of if they haven't got the resources to get up and try and put too much pressure on this Chinese team. If they do, they're going to get a little tired. They're going to get some of those blocking fouls, and they can't get into foul trouble. This team don't have the depth to get into foul trouble. It's a case of picking your poison. Give the Chinese the opportunity to shoot the ball and just give them one shot. If you get out into bad closeout situations, you're going to get into foul trouble.
Well, Marielka Garate has come into the game, and a foul has been called on the rebound. The foul called against Garate. And this will give 2 more shots now for Huang. Here she is, battling for the ball, and the foul was called. So depth quite clearly right now is the major issue. Daniela Wallen has come into the game. Now she's had some big games for Venezuela.
Yeah, Wallen is one of those guys you need to come in and have energy, need to contribute. And they're a little undersized, and they can switch more. They can switch very aggressively with people like Wallen because they're the same size situation, so they can switch. And they're going to have to find a way of trying to control tempo. If China keep pushing the ball, then they're going to be in a very, very difficult situation.
Well, China have taken the lead after getting back to the free throw line. Both free throws good from Huang. Rivas drills a three-pointer, puts her team right back in front. And she took that shot with confidence.
Yeah, got her feet set, lined it up.
Sun Mingjiang, and she rattles into 3 as well. So both teams now trading threes. Game's starting to heat up a little bit. Sun with 6 points, bringing the spark to the Chinese. Huang Zhizhang also into the game, number 11, and she just comes up with a steal there. And then Zhao Qingfeng couldn't control it, and it goes back over to Venezuela. Critical point in the game right now for Venezuela.
Well, that last offense for Venezuela was worrying because China didn't have to help, didn't have to get into rotations. You know, the offensive threat wasn't really aggressive, so therefore he just stayed at home. Everybody played one-on-one. There was no options to, get defense into rotation.
Well, Rivas this time tries to drive, or does drive, but is unsuccessful.
Same situation again, always under pressure.
Wu Di, the lefty, launches it, and a foul in the lane. And the battle for the boards. And it could be again. Oh no, it's going to be on Huang.
Well,
so this time Huang was called for the push on Garate.
let's get a look at it, Jeff. And there, yeah, you can see she wrapped her arms around him and forced away. That's a better effort on the glass by Grady. Trying to just put a body there, box out, calls the offensive foul. They've got to commit to the work on the glass.
Perez passes back outside. Now Silva has it. Silva puts up a three, and that was short and to the left as the shot clock was winding down. Zhao Xingfang gets inside. Back out. And she knocks it down, number 8, Wu Di.
That's great offensive transition. Took the ball deep, dragged the whole of the defense into the lane, and the trailer just gets the open look. That's a tremendous there. It's a long 2, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was a 3, but it was a 2. Silva off the rim, the battle for the board. Goes back up and in from Wallen.
And that's what we're talking about coming off the bench. Energy on the glass. You know, they're going to be better basketball players in this tournament than Wallen, but she works. She brings energy.
Huang drives in, and a good rebound from Rivas. Perez quickly over to Silva. It's a 2-on-2. Will Silva pull up? And now Perez has Wallen on the wing. Perez drives in and had a look. Here comes Wu Di, now in the open break, and nobody was back for Venezuela. So good hustle from China. Sun, she's got 5 points in the final 25 seconds here of the opening quarter. China up 3. Wallen gets inside, puts it up, and scores with a tough shot. I was like, no, this is not what you need. And sure enough, and a quick 3. Oh, well, I thought she was a little too quick, but she takes it. Now Perez, is she aware of the time situation? She gets it up there, but too high. So some good play coming from the bench for Top Mars China, and that 3-pointer has given the Far East Giants a 20-16 lead at the end of the first quarter.
No, listen. What happened with Dodo and did you call switch?
Well, Jeff, look at it. Statistically,
Did you call switch?
until Soon made those 2 threes, this idea, asking China to shoot the 3, was beginning to pay some dividends for Venezuela. I don't think they should leave that alone as a way of playing this game. I just think they've got to try and outscore China with keeping Perez and the like on the floor for as long as they possibly can. When they started to really rush out on closeouts, they got into foul situations. There were too many free throws for China, and that enabled China to get confidence in the game and get that scoreboard ticking over. And that's the worry if you're a Venezuelan fan. And the other thing is, can Perez go the whole game? Because she looks like she might have to. But she definitely looks a real international player that's going to be around for a long time. She could be one of those players that really helps the country. There's players in the past who've done it, but she looks like a player who could really carve out a career for herself.
She looks like a veteran, really, for just 22 years of age. I'm sure she's raising some eyebrows with kind of the composed play that she seems to have.
Well, in the last 2 years, she's almost like tripled her contribution statistically across every stat line, as she's become like a young senior player. And she has that type of game. She's very strong on the penetration and can shoot from the perimeter. So, she's young enough that this Venezuelan team could build around her. And like their men have done recently, they're going to become a factor coming out of the FIBA Americas region. The other thing, Jeff, she looks like she knows how to play minutes. She's not overexerting herself. She's looking like she's trying to play, so she's going to be there in the second half. I think they really do. They need her to make that contribution. And then the last thing is they've got to stay. They're just going to fight on the glass. They're not going to rebound because of their athleticism and size. It's going to be how hard they work, how much they work on keeping the Chinese offense away from the rebound and just boxing out very hard. But China have a way here, don't they? Their defense started to give Venezuela a real issue as that quarter developed. They really were containing it. They were able to play one-on-one, and therefore they can get hands in the passing lane. They started to turn that into points. So I don't think Coach Ma is going to be worried. I think he knows he's got the game to win this. It's whether or not this Venezuelan team is going to buckle against that pressure.
Well, clearly there's certain things that Venezuela have got to do. They've got to limit the opportunities that China get on the offensive glass. Tempo is an issue, and also they've got to manage their players' minutes. because the depth in the China squad quite clearly is much bigger. You see Chen Nun over there coughing, and she is clearly not at her best. And just a slight delay here as the referees check something over at the scores table.
Just highlighting that minute issue. You know, the Venezuelans had 2 guys go the whole quarter. They're going to play a lot of minutes, whereas, you know, China are down there. The most anyone's played is 7. And Coach Ma's got that depth. Coach Silva is, you know, they're different coaching challenges. These guys have done it both ways, and I'm sure that Coach Silva's going to find a way to protect the people he needs to protect. And they have to learn how to rest on the floor. This extended quarter break is really helping.
20-16, second quarter underway. China on top by 4 here at the FIBA Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament. And Lu Win gets inside, puts it up, and Wallen with another rebound. And Wallen getting some good minutes coming off the bench.
So important that people like Wallen make that sort of contribution.
Perez, oh, nice dribble. He really does play with some fire. She's going to put up a 3. And the pass up ahead to Xiao Ting. Now inside to Sun. She turns, puts it up, misses, and Garcia with the rebound.
That's good help. Good, real controlled defense of it. It's very easy to step in and foul on that play. Did a good job taking away the space.
Ortega also into the game for Venezuela, number 10. And another chance to run. And that's a few times now that Venezuela have been beaten down the court.
Well, you mentioned, I'd say, coming into the game, she was the last player back. She's pointing, coming back. She's just got to get back and be safe. It's all those little things that Venezuela are going to have to do just to try and control tempo.
Pass inside to Corrales. Makes a difficult pass back to Garcia, and she either fumbled it or had it knocked out of her hands. And Wallen is going to come out of the game. Vani Marquez back in, the captain. There you see the fast break.
See, if they're not going to send people to the offensive glass, which they're not really doing in terms of great numbers, they've got to get back. They're getting stuck halfway. There's a travel.
Yep, travel. Called against China. So Venezuela had the bright start. Now it's China that have kind of about ready to take control of this game. They've certainly, they're in the ascendancy. Perez over, up, and she does contribute. Ortega from 3-point range.
Perez with the extra pass. Again, it started because they made the defense turn.
And missed I think it was a 2, in fact. And that's far too easy for China. Chen getting inside. Corrales puts her head down, gets inside, puts it up and in.
That's the key. For me, they've got to be aggressive enough to actually get this defense from China into rotations.
Sun, oh, beautiful play from Sun, but she doesn't finish. So she's fouled.
Yeah, I'm a little bit with Perez on that one. I think she maybe took an extra step, but it was a great little first step she got.
So 2 fouls now on Garcia. And Venezuelan bench trying to give the team a lift. And no free throw is no good. So that foul was on Garcia. 2 fouls on her. Sun's one of these veterans that's been around for Tom Marr. She misses both free throws. And China just kind of allowing Venezuela really to stay in the game.
They've had their woes at times from they only shot 60% in last year's Asia Championships, the Chinese, from the free throw line. And with their size, they're going to spend a lot of time there. So they've got to take those opportunities.
But Corrales again takes the contact, puts it up, and Chen with the rebound. And now quickly Gao Song puts it up, and really China beat Venezuela down the floor that time. There two players there for the offensive rebound. Xiaoting drives in, puts it up off the glass.
It's that situation again. Xiaoting got it as the ball was reversed, and Garcia just rushes out on the closeout. Just to offer, if she makes the three, great. You cannot, get beat on those closeout situations.
Oh, nice play. Backdoor cut from Ortega. Good pass. That was Perez with the assist. Now Lu Wen passes inside, and Sun powers her way up. And right now, China getting some easy looks.
Yeah, you're right, Jay. China getting shots they want. Penetrations, little flex cuts. Again, I still think Venezuela got to pack the middle.
Here's Perez. Passes back outside to Corrales. Pump fake, and this is the jumper. And now careless pass by China, but then unfortunate for Venezuela as Marquez Caldich went over the line. So the over and back violation.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate one.
Really, you just feel like China kind of gradually wearing down Venezuela. Gao Song puts it up and in, the three-pointer.
Well, that's what we said before the game. She's got a feet set, lined it up. She's very, very, very efficient.
Renault going to come back into the game. The offensive rebound and putback. So good. Now the spin move inside and traveling. I think I called Renault Rivas earlier on, but it's Renault rather.
Yeah.
So Renault coming back into the game, number 15, as well as Silva. Ortega comes out.
See, Ortega and Wayne have done what they're supposed to do. They've come in, they've made contributions, they're doing their part of this. The score's getting a little bit difficult now for Venezuela to manage. They're 9 down, and it's really transition they've got to stop.
Marquez misses the three. And really, this is a danger time for Venezuela. They're down 9 midway through the second quarter. Zhao Jinfang works it out on the perimeter. Now inside, bounce pass. It was read by Ivani Marquez, and she forced the turnover.
Again, they have bodies in the keyway, bodies in the blue area. I don't think they've just got to decide how they're going to ask China to score. Got to stop transition. Got to make sure that they don't let anything happen on the inside and rebound. China shoot well from the outside, fine. I don't think they can play them straight up, as they've tried to on a number of occasions, and contain this Chinese team.
Perez drives over, gets it back to Renault, and her attempt at another three, no good, but good hustle from Silva from behind to knock it out of bounds. And ball goes over to Venezuela. She initially signaled it was going to be Venezuela's ball, but it goes back to China, rather.
Yeah, the officials communicated well. We can see it on the monitors, and the official from Zimbabwe just saw it from one side, so the referees communicate. It's always a good sign when they're on the same page.
Wong, being bodied up by Garate, decides to take a difficult shot and makes it.
Garate doesn't need to get out on her that tightly in that situation. Ask her to make a play. Don't give her the play to make.
Nope. Silva was able to control it. Beautiful pass inside, and Garate puts it up. Ball back to Ivani Marquez. And Renault has the shot blocked.
Got to kick it. Got to kick it. Like Silva was literally wide open in the corner, just went against the bigger player. They've still got the possession with 11 seconds when they come back after the timeout.
So the field goal shooting so far, China now up to 48%, and Venezuela shooting 27%.
Those 48%, I mean, you highlighted it, through the commentary, they're getting fast break opportunities. And then they're getting like secondary break opportunities before the defense is set. When Venezuela get China into the half court, they're not doing a bad job.
Look at that, 9 fast break points for China, none for Venezuela.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, you've got an 11-point game. China in control in the glass. You've got to try and get this into a half-court game for them that way. And earlier in the game, that last play sums it up. Venezuela did a nice job creating rotation in the Chinese defense, but then making a pass. Whereas they went up on that occasion and tried to force it. And the only other, Perez, as much as I think she's got so much upside to her game, she's got to find ways to get efficiency into it. At the moment, she's got to get open looks and knock them down. And if she can get that efficiency, she can really help this Venezuelan team. She's just not really contributing points-wise at the moment because Coach Ma is going to focus on that. He's going to, let's make other people shoot the ball, which is what's happening.
The ball inbounded to Marquez. And Marquez takes a difficult shot at the line, trying to look to run. And again, pass inside, and Gao Song couldn't quite control it, so she passes it back out. And Soon puts up a 3.
Got to get that long defensive rebound. Got to box out.
Now Soon puts up another one, and it's online, and it's good.
Well, Soon's the only one really knocking down threes, but they had a chance. They gave him a second look again. And China inside outside looks very, very efficient when Soon's on the floor.
Well, right now, you feel like Venezuela on the ropes here at the end of the first half. Less than 3 minutes to go. Reno gets inside, and good job drawing the contact and earning a trip to the free throw line. Wu Di picks up the foul.
Yeah, different matchup that time. They hadn't switched, so she had Wu Di, which gives her a chance to actually play on the inside. And we always knew this was going to be a really tough ask for Venezuela, but China at the moment are just being relentless in always looking to push, always going to the glass, and at the moment making some very good decisions offensively. The relentless nature of it is beginning to wear down this Venezuela lineup. Whalen's going to come back. That's going to help her with the energy level on the glass.
So Wallen comes in, and she comes back in for Garate. Venezuela just about hanging in there. Down 12, Gao Song comes out. Posts her teammate Huang into the game. Number 11, here's Wu Di. Her pass to Xin Feng, now back out to Wu Di. And now the China size on the board's really starting to reveal itself. And nice looking play there by China and Zhao Xinfang.
I like the little trap that the Venezuelans put on the floor, but with their lack of size, they're going to have to try and scramble rebounds. They just couldn't get there. Again, I think they just got to pick the poison and say, make the first jump shot.
Moreno tries to drive in, and another fast break. Nobody back for the Venezuelans. The Vino Tinto. And China with their biggest lead of the game, 40-24.
Well, no one went to the glass and no one got back. It's they've really got to try and get this to a manageable number by the half.
So we're back to Marquez. Now into the corner to Silva. And she drew iron. And the ball is chased down in the corner by Wu Di. And nice pass to Huang. And China just continue to get what they want at the rim.
It's the relentless. They're just relentless at the moment.
Waleska, Pedeth, bounce pass out to Wallen now. Over to Pedeth, wide open. It's online, but a little short.
She shoots a dead ball. You know, there's not a lot of backward rotation on that jump shot. She's not going to get a lot of help from the ring without that. Nice find.
Another penetration and drive, and the ball goes back out of bounds. But Zhao Xinfeng, the point guard, being aggressive, coming off the bench.
Well, we can see Perez, Jeff, you know, off the monitor, and she's down on her knees, haunches-wise. You know, she's gotten the whole of this first half, and she's been given a workout by this Chinese defense.
Ivani Marquez gets inside. And now the ball back over to China here. The final 25 seconds, and they're up by 18. Xiaoting inside to Huang. Ivani Marquez got her hand on it. So really, China, having struggled for much of the first quarter, have really gotten to grips. And nice steal there by Silva. And Silva gets it back from Pedeth. And instead of waiting around, she's going to drive in. And ball goes out of bounds. It'll still be the ball for Venezuela. And Oscar Silva's going to call a timeout here to try to draw something up for the last play. And I suppose you want to make sure you get the last shot.
Well, he's got enough time here to go in. And he's in a hole. If you get an open look, get a 3, get a 2, whatever it is, he's got to score. Most importantly, he's got to get a good look. But they had to come out of a perfect game here to try and compete with one of the major powers. And shooting percentage-wise, they just haven't made enough shots to stay in the game. More than anything else, the relentless nature of what China do is the impressive thing.
Yeah, I think the big thing for Venezuela, where they're finding it difficult to compete, is the depth that they're facing against China. No field goals for 6 minutes and 14 seconds. And there's some basic things they have to work on. They have to make sure they have somebody back to cut out these fast breaks.
Well, and we make the point, they're not sending anyone to the glass. It's not as if 5 guys are just crashing the boards. They shoot the ball and just stand. And, 1 or 2 guys like Whalen could go to the glass. Everyone else got to get back. That would help. That's going to take away at least 10 points in terms of fast break points. And then because they're struggling now to break the Chinese defense down, the Chinese haven't got into any defensive rotations. And if you can't get teams into defensive rotations, you're playing one-on-one against athletic, bigger players. So you're making tough shots all the time. And it's impressive the way the Chinese have said, right, no, I'm going to guard you, and I don't want to get into rotations. So, and Perez in particular has got to find a way to get a shot she wants, given that one-on-one nature of it. But they don't even leave her. When she gets rid of the ball, they just deny her it back. She's having to work just to exist out there.
So 9.1 seconds remaining here in the first half. Pedeth has the ball. And she's going to go right at Sun. And tries to get something. Ball knocks out of bounds with 1.7 seconds remaining.
Jeff, she had a chance in that play to get a much better finish than that. She goes for that quick release. She's got enough size, not enough strength to take a hit in that penetration and at least go to the free throw line at worst. I mean, she beat the defense. She's got to get a better look than that. Maybe that's just the experience that she's going to have to gain. For her, she's going to see some of the best players in the world this tournament. In that situation, you're fouled or scoring. I mean, 27%, Jeff, is just not going to get it done at any level.
No, and you saw the three-pointer for China. That also just starts to pile on the pressure.
Well, a lot of that, in particular, Sun has done a great job from the three-point line. But again, she's done it off inside, outside plays with her feet set, with a little bit of space, a little bit of time, and just knocked it down.
China was set with 11 second chance points. Thought they were out rebounding at 31-18 with 8 offensive rebounds. And really maybe the indicator about the differences in these teams. Look at the points coming from the bench. China with 28, Venezuela with 13.
And those 13, we're looking at great effort plays by Whalen. We're looking at great offensive rebound work. Everything's been tough.
Well, China have to be careful they don't throw it away, and they do. I don't think that's what Tom Marr drew up. And he'll find he needed something to take his players to task with at halftime, but right now they're in command, 42-24 over Venezuela. So as you look at the statistics here at halftime, some of those missed free throws helping Venezuela stay in the game early on, but China really now shooting over 50% inside the arc. They're out rebounding Venezuela 31-18. 7 of those rebounds for Venezuela coming on the offensive glass. And China in command despite the 9 turnovers.
Well, you know what Coach Marr is like in that situation. You mentioned he was going to look for something during the halftime, and the turnovers is where he's going to probably focus. He's very concerned about his turnover numbers across the board. But great spread of points by China.
Led by Sun.
Yep.
And interestingly, we were wondering about Chen Nun. I looked at her yesterday, and she clearly is not feeling well. So it could be that maybe we won't see the best of her at this tournament. We don't know. But she hasn't really been a factor so far. But China, for their part, haven't really needed her to be. So it's at halftime. It's 42-24. China on top of Venezuela. Well, 42-24 is the lead at halftime for China against Venezuela here in the opening game of the FIBA Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament. 5 teams from the WOQT will clinch places to the Rio de Janeiro Games, the Olympics, which will be held in August. And 12 teams in all here at this tournament. And I think China, maybe you would have called them a bubble team coming in. Will they or won't they qualify? Venezuela, probably most people would have said they were big underdogs, and that's kind of how that first half kind of panned out, especially in the second quarter.
Well, they definitely played like the gap in their rankings is reflected, and you know, maybe we gave China a little bit of an undersell in terms of their current ranking, but they have been absolutely relentless in trying to actually impose themselves on this Venezuelan team.
And what about Sun?
Well, I think Sun's had a marvelous, 5 from 7 from the field. He's done a marvelous job. And it's the other thing that I think that coaches sometimes get a hard time, whatever, but they came in here with 3 scorers, the 3 leading scorers, and Coach Mara has put a defense out on the floor that's restricted those 3 scorers to 3 points. You know, Perez has 3, and Marquez and Silva and Marquez are pointless in that first half, and that to me is the story of it. They've turned defense into points. They've got to they carry on like that. This could be a long half for Venezuela.
Well, second half action underway from Nantes, France, the Metropole. And inside they find Garcia, and that's a good start for Venezuela.
Well, Nunn just lost her footing. Garcia gets the nice finish, but good vision out on the floor too.
Venezuela cannot afford to leave anything out there. They have got to come out all guns blazing. And long rebound collected there by Silva.
Well, that's almost a defense that we're asking them to play. Gap it, see if they can make those threes early in the offense, and it worked out that time because they got the defensive rebound.
Vani Marquez, the captain, hands it off. And now Corrales. And that turnover is going to lead to an easy basket for Sun. Oh, she's going to miss it. Wow. What a missed opportunity that was.
Well, I was just about to say that's exactly what they can't do. You know, we got that miscommunication and ends up with, the completely unopposed layup that she blows. But, well, they dodged a bullet on that one.
Vani Marquez left open off the front of the rim. Silva comes in for the rebound, gets it back to Vani Marquez, puts up another one, again off the front of the rim, and that's going to trigger a break for China. Corrales does a good job of meeting at midcourt the Chinese team, but the ball ends up inside and they draw a foul.
Well, the other thing, Jeff, they've just got to stop that break. And it pains me at times to see teams do it, but they had numbers back, steal or foul it early, get China on the sideline, set your defense up. It's not the greatest way to win basketball games, but if Venezuela need to get back, they need to make this a slow offensive half for China. And Marquez is just struggling. She's a really great contributor normally for this Venezuelan lineup, but she had 2 great looks. You'd expect her to make at least one of those looks, and she just cannot get it going offensively.
She gets the second one to fall. Interestingly, is Venezuela now faces some full court pressure. And they identify it and break it. And now Silva's open. She's going to go back inside. Passes it back out to Vani Marquez. Silva's starting to come to life a little bit.
If you'd drawn it up and said, we want someone to get a shot, Marquez would be one of those wide open looks.
Well, she's had a few already here in the second half. And Xiao Ting, cha-ching, drills the three-pointer.
Ringing the points up, I think, is the phrase.
Valeska Perez misses the jump shot, and really it's a case of the jumper's just not falling for Venezuela, and it is at 20 points. Sun inside, and this time she doesn't miss, close to the basket. So Oscar Silva, who's just had a waiter come out here to deliver him a coffee, shot of espresso perhaps. Going to call a timeout to try to turn things around. Corrales gets it to Perez. Silva open online, and it's good.
And her relief, you know, she just turned to the bench and just said at last. They move the ball really well. When they penetrate and pass and get the defense chasing, they have really nice options. They're just going to make shots.
Well, that was a 2. Xiao Ting gets inside another time. And Silva does get the timeout. So a couple of times in a row here for China getting it inside, and Silva is going to talk about things. Here's Silva's 3. And they lead the world today in foot on the line today. They've had a few shots.
Yep. Jeff, you know Coach Silva, you know, relatively well over the last. He's not going to throw the towel in here or anything else. He's going to try and win a long time to go in the game. And you can see how they can get shots. If they break the defense down and kick and they start to make some jump shots, they just got to stop this this Chinese team getting down the floor and keeping the ball moving. They've got to break the game up. Just make them run a half-court set and force them to try and make plays as opposed to giving them plays in transition. And it's still a huge ask to get back in the game, but they have players who can score in a hurry.
So Venezuela inbound it, continue to face some pressure, and Garcia not able to get it over Xiao Ting. Silva tries to chase it down, ball on the ground, picked up by China. And that was just a case of Garcia. She had it and just didn't make that final pass. Three-pointer is good from Xiao Ting.
Well, that's 7 points in a row for Xiao Ting. The 3, the 2-2s, inside, outside. She's showing you the full repertoire at the moment. But she had so long to take the shot. No one came out anywhere near her.
Well, the size of Huang blocked Valeska Perez. That's a nice use of the word repertoire here in France.
Just fitting in with the local culture, ambience at the gym. It's a beautiful facility here.
It really is. Garcia. And again, the rim not kind. And it's just not happening for Venezuela as they trail by 25. Xiao Ting puts it on the deck, drives in, puts it up off the glass and in.
Well, it's the Xiao Ting show at the moment. She's got her feet set, knocked down the shot, then she just attacked the poor closeout to be honest, but she still has to make the play.
Perez this time does get it, and that's what she's capable of. But again, where China have excelled is getting out of the break. Venezuela get back. Lu Win, her long jumper, nope, and Perez comes away with the ball. And she brings it back outside instead of attacking and allows China to come back.
Yeah, exactly right. 2-on-2 situation. She's got the skill set to just take it to the basket in that situation. Oh, nice move.
She is going to take it this time, gets it to Ivani Marquez, but Marquez can't get it to fall. And again, another break up ahead to Xiao Ting, and Ting is blocked. And good hustle, so Venezuela getting back. Corrales got it over to Marquez, now Perez. And again, drives in, and an and one coming for Valesca Perez, and that's what she can do.
Well, and that's why, you know, gave her a little hard time for the play before. Same situation, faced with someone in transition. She can finish play. She takes the contact. Great use of her body to protect it. Strong move, strong step, great soft touch. She's starting to get herself going and going to the basket, getting that high percentage look.
And she makes, you know, from a fan standpoint, you look at that scoreboard and you just think it's over. But from a coaching standpoint and a player standpoint, you just have to play, don't you?
You've got to find a way. Yeah, you don't look at the 22-point margin. You've got 4:51 to go in the third. You want to be in credit come the end of the third period. So, you know, if they can get it to 18, get it to 16 if possible, they got some momentum then. This is, you know, we've seen crazy situations in games where teams do this and get back in it.
Well, there's Silva. That's what she's known for, is her defense. She gives her team the ball back. She's going to put up a jumper. It's good. And another two. But impressive play from Silva, and really taking responsibility here on both ends of the floor for Venezuela.
Well, the great thing for Venezuela is we're going to see the shouting move to the hoop where she gets a little contact but then gets blocked. Silva started to play. Perez has started to play. They can get Marquez going, then everybody starts to come to the party. And that's why Tom Miles taking a timeout. He doesn't want to see this get messy. You know, he's looking at the whole picture. He doesn't want to get any momentum. It's a 20-point game. As you said, some guys will think this is done. He's been around for a long, long time where momentum can turn games very, very quickly. There's still 14 minutes left in this game.
Points in the paint, China 61%, shooting 14 of 23. But Venezuela have done a little bit better job at getting back on the break.
Well, you make one of them. Let's make one and let's get back. Let's do that. When they've done that, then we get high percentage shots. They've started to do that. You know, it's a long, long way back. It's a very deep hole. But the beauty of this game, when you've got talent on the floor, is either team can score in a hurry. If they can stop those transition baskets, that's going to take away a lot of those points production. And you can't see it while you're seeing that replay, but Coach Mars making sure the referees know that this game is still live. He doesn't want to see any referee think, well, it's a 20-point game. Let's just see what happens.
Well, you saw Xiaoting having come to life there. Her plays in the third quarter. And really, Venezuela have to make it happen here defensively. They got to take care of the glass. Zhao Xingfeng. You know, some of these players coming off the bench for China did a great job in the first half. Here's Huang. And much better from Venezuela defensively. Wu Di forced to take the jump shot and well short. And now a foul called on Xiaoting. Or no, Gao Song.
That's one of those situations. Players get a little tangled up. Venezuela had it, maybe could have let that one go, but big 4 minutes though, Jeff. If they can get something going here, who knows what might happen in the fourth quarter, but not with shots like that and breakaways like this.
Nope. Easy one for China, but at least Venezuela got back to commit the foul.
Yeah, Marquez picks up the third foul. It sort of compounds the sort of game, you know, she's been having. In the South American Championship, she averaged 13 points a game and, you know, picked up 3 assists. She was contributing across the board, really efficient. She just hasn't been able to get anything going. And that, picking up fouls normally follows that sort of game, and she's now on 3 fouls waiting, and looks like she's going to come in for it.
So Daniela Wallen comes in. She was overall played well in the first half on her limited minutes, and Marquez comes out of the game. Marquez, 33 years of age. She's the elder statesman in this team. Well, along with Ana Garcia, both of them are 33. Here's Corrales. And the battle for the board. Somebody's got to get on the ground if you're Venezuelan. They don't.
No.
And Up comes Zhao, and she launches it. Silva, good hustle from her. And Garcia's got to do a better job of corralling that. You've got your player hustling to keep it alive. She just couldn't quite hold on.
Well, that sort of sums up. They worked very well down the offensive end, got the open look, missed another open foul line jump shot. And Silva, wow, any team would love that sort of effort. And then Garcia just couldn't help a teammate get the benefit of that effort.
Huang, her jump shot out, and Silva's really bringing the energy. Perez goes around Wu Di, falls down, is able to get it to Silva. Puts up another three this time, and the rim wasn't kind. See Zhao really trying to force it here for China. And there's the veteran, Chen Non.
Oh, they moved it beautifully, didn't they? They looked at the first options, looked at early offense, didn't have it. Non just popped to the baseline corner. It's one of those shots that she'll take thousands of, and just knocked it down. Beautiful execution in transition.
Perez inside, puts it up and in. Boy, I don't want to say she's unstoppable, but she's a handful.
Well, when she gets in that sort of deep with that body, that strength she has in the body, she's a tough ask to stop.
Huang has it knocked away. A good reach by Wallen. And Perez has it.
Well, we talked about being in credit. It gives them a chance to get it under 20. Just need a good look.
Garate goes baseline and makes a pass out to Perez, who has to put up a three with the shot clock winding down, and Corrales got it, but not in time. Anyway, she missed a shot, so better defense from China.
Another example of that the shooting of the dead ball almost. The ball doesn't backward rotate when Perez takes those perimeter jump shots, so something that she could add in terms of being more efficient, more consistent from the perimeter.
Is it not worth bringing Perez out just for a minute and then putting her back in?
I think there are ways to find gaps in games for people like Perez, and have possession of the ball, take her out, put her back. There's plenty of opportunities. Because you can look at it, Jeff. She's really
she's tired.
Yeah.
Jump ball possession arrow goes back over to China. There's the replay on the missed shot and not beating the shot clock. So new 14 for China. Chen Nun over. Now Huang. And she is fouled shooting a very long jump shot from Garate. And that's going to bring Landreta into the game. It's one of those things where you want to be aggressive defensively, but you simply cannot foul the jump shooter, and not Huang, who hasn't demonstrated the ability to knock down that three yet. She may have hit one earlier today.
No, it's one. There's two or three of the Chinese players that are good from the three-point. Everyone else looks like they can take it, but you'll let her take it and
make that.
Yeah,
got to pick that poison.
Yeah, make that shot. Make it if you can. Don't go to. I'm not going to send you to the free throw line to get an easy one, but.
So Corrales now has it for Venezuela, who now trail again by 24. Silva gets inside, puts up runner, and the Landreta, who's come in the offensive rebound. Silva chases it back down, and good hustle from both teams. Xiao Ting putting pressure under Perez, but it's called for the foul.
Both Silva and Perez give a great example of getting rid of the ball off the first step, so the defense can't actually get a piece and challenge the shot. They both do a really nice job of trying to manufacture that shot. They should have a pretty good percentage on it too.
Perez, bounce pass intercepted, and Venezuela almost get it back. The Xiaoting picks it up, and then that leads up to Sun, who goes in and makes a difficult shot guarded by Perez.
Tough move, took some contact, but again, they fumbled it around for a bit, but they still had someone long, and all of a sudden Venezuela just forget they have to get back, or physically they're now starting to struggle again.
And the pass eludes Corrales.
That's just largely just fatigue in Perez's defense. And Perez is finally going to come out after 29 and a half minutes of being just worked over by this Chinese defense.
So Marianne Duran is going to come in for Perez. And Perez is going to sit down in the coach's chair. Then looks, finds Xiaoting, China. Over to Sun, who's been on the money, and she continues to knock down the three-pointers. Well, keep an eye on her because she's emerging as an important player for China this summer.
Well, they've done a nice job of finding people getting points in bunches. You know, they've made a couple. They know where they are. They find the open player.
And right there at the end of the quarter, good defense from Huang. And Venezuela, who had a chance to get it under 20, kind of lose their grip on the game there at the end of the third quarter. They're trailing 66-37. See the three-pointer here by Sun, and she has been terrific from the arc.
Oh, Coach Ma's got a lot of production out of that small forward spot when they've extended. You know, at that with Xiaoting at the start of the third, and then Song at the end of the third. That's a real tough matchup when Venezuela go with the three guards because they're going to get that shot away. But well, you picked it up in commentary about the fact they got back, they'd had a chance to get it, and then all of a sudden, that's that relentless nature again. China were being relentless, so it didn't matter. If they got back, they'd be fine. Once they stopped getting back, they picked up the easy points in transition again and again and again. And if there's a learning point for Venezuela, if they are going to try and make the same progress as the men's program had, that's about playing at that same level every single minute. And China have given a really good demonstration of use your bench, rotate, get level, and keep it at that same high level of intensity for the whole game.
Well, both of these teams are going to have a tough game next time out. And, you know, the winner, obviously the format of the women's Olympic qualifying tournament is that you have two games in the group stage, and if you're in the top two of the three teams, then you advance to what is called the quarterfinal. And you play these guys will the two teams from this group will play the two teams in a quarterfinal. So the first place team in this group will play the second place team from Group C.
Yeah.
That could be Belarus, it could be Nigeria, it could be Korea. And if you win that game, you go to the Olympics. Otherwise, you have to win two more games at this women's Olympic qualifying tournament. But China's showing us something. You know, we thought they had the makings of a team that could get to the Olympics, and really the way they've been able to take Venezuela to task here suggests that they do indeed have a good shot at making it to Rio.
Well, Coach Mars showed a little matchup zone at the start of this fourth quarter.
Wallen gets inside. And I suppose also what's problematic for Venezuela at this stage is that if somehow they were able to, it's just at the end of the shot clock, they don't get the shot off, so a violation. If somehow they were able to beat Spain, which probably you can't see happening, but if they were, and Spain were to beat China, you'd have a three-way tie, and then goal differential comes into it. So the huge deficit right now,
yeah,
they're kind of losing on two counts. Silva chases back and collects herself and misses the layup.
Yeah, you got a lot of hats off to Silva, a level of intensity, a defense, etc. Then she's going to She misses a layup at one end. China take it straight back down and get a layup down the other end.
Boy, Huang showed us something that time, going up and scoring with the left hand. And Duran misses from long range. And it's starting to, the agony really starting to be piled on this Venezuela team. They're going to come back with Ortega, Garcia, and Perez. As you look at this call, I think the call was that she was out of bounds.
Yeah, she stepped on the sideline as she squared up and ripped it through.
So Waleska Perez has had a chance to catch her breath. She's back out there. She's got the ball. Tough pass to Wallen's feet. She catches it. Now Perez has it. And this time drills a three.
She definitely has, all the tools in the box to be a major player. And she's definitely getting the minutes to get the experience. Still only 22 as well.
Lu Win misses from long range, but the rebound from Sun. Huang. Again, they pass it around. Huang puts up a three. And offensive rebound for the other Huang. And the ball goes out of bounds to China. So just as a reminder, Venezuela beating Puerto Rico in the 5th place game at the FIBA Americas Women's Championship last year in Edmonton, Canada. That's what allowed them to get a place in the Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament. And China, when they got to the final of the FIBA Asia Women's Championship, and they lost to Japan quite decisively. Anyway, they got a place to the WOQT.
Well, just on that point, how good is Japan at the moment and the progress they've made after the lot? This Chinese team looks a strong team, and the Japanese team just ran them off the floor at the Asia Championship. So, you're looking at the relative merits of various sort of competitions. This says a lot about the quality of that Asia competition now.
Well, the first game was tight that they played. But the second game, it was no contest. Japan just blew them out. There's Perez missing. But, Venezuela come out of the Americas, and you've got some good teams in the Americas. And we'll see another of those today in Cuba and another in Argentina. Now Chen, she's fouled by Perez. Of course, the USA would be the real powerhouse, and they never really have to go to the FIBA Americas Championship because they qualify for the major tournaments by winning the Olympics, by winning the World Championship. And what helped Venezuela get here as well was the fact that Brazil are the host nation. So that created...
That's why that 5th place game was such a big deal at that tournament. Why?
Although I think Brazil actually finished lower. Oh, no, they did finish higher. Yeah, no, the 5th place game. So here's Wallen, goes up and turns it over against Gao Song. These Chinese players, I think what you have to remember is that this team has been together, or a lot of these players that are getting big minutes have been around. We've seen them at the World Championship. Here's Wallen, steal, and she goes in for the layup. And we've seen good things from Wallen coming off the bench.
And that's what this Venezuelan team needs. It needs, they show a little zone now, but they need that depth so that there's not so much of an over-reliance on those 1 or 2 players. That'll take them to the next level internationally. They can compete, but they need to get to the next level to win. They need that more. They need more depth.
I think Garcia was flirting with an unsportsmanlike there. Yeah. She's got to be careful. Watch this. Puts both hands.
Yeah, that is, by the strictest interpretation, that would normally be called, an unsportsmanlike foul. Unfortunately, maybe the referee's refereeing the situation, not the foul, but...
I mean, that was that angle didn't look quite as bad as from the angle that we have over here. But nevertheless, Huang misses the first. I mean, have you seen enough from China to think that they could come out and really push Spain?
Well, you've got to like the fact that they're deep. And against this, because Spain are one of the most relentless teams in world basketball, they push it at you. Well, China can push it back. It's they've got the depth.
China have the size.
And they do have size, but their size maybe not as athletic as some of that Spanish side, especially as Sancho Little's back in the lineup for Spain. It's an intriguing game. And in some ways...
Oh, what a move from Perez, but she doesn't finish.
Well, it's a matchup, that Spanish-Chinese matchup's a matchup to look forward to right now, though, isn't it? I mean, it's...
Well, the one I've been thinking about is the potential quarterfinal with Belarus, but, China might have a chance to beat this Spain team, depending how they come out.
Well, they're definitely good enough that if Spain don't bring their A game, they have a real opportunity.
And turnover from Wallen, got into no man's land. And then the fast break, and Sun scores. I remember in 2014 in the quarterfinals, we saw Spain really lay the wood to China.
Well, because to me, as Perez makes that's another little option that she hasn't taken here today. That little pull-up, she hasn't looked to take that until then. But if you let Spain dictate with their defense and Zagai and people really get after you, and their guards make such great decisions, and then you've got one of the best players in the world, and Alba Torres finishing it. But then with Sancho Little, they have size. The Spanish team has aspirations to be a medalist. But if they don't bring their A game, this Chinese team has got some players that'll really go hard, and they have enough that if Spain don't, Spain upset by New Zealand in preparation, so they're not invincible. As Perez does it again.
Yeah, it's just coming a little bit too little, too late.
But her 18 points, she's 3 from 10. It's got to be 3 from 7, 3 from 8, 3 from 6. She's got the game to make more shots. It's tough to make them when you're this tired, though.
Silva has it after the China turnover. Just a little long.
And that's the Venezuelan need. Perez, Silva, they need those guys to have perfect games for him at this point in time, to live at this level.
Well, Venezuela have played some games in the build-up to the Women's Olympic qualifying tournaments against top-flight opponents. So and they face this very China team in 3 games, albeit without some of their players. Nice pass from Perez and a 3-point play opportunity. She really, she's a player that you want to build around, don't you?
Yeah, I think she's a player you could, build a program around. She's that good in terms of her relative level.
You're like, I don't know where she comes from, but I'm going to go back there and find some more players like her.
Yeah, so Silva's only 24 years old. Perez is 22. Well, there's your 1-2 for a long time to come. Then Garcia's good enough if they can find 1 or 2 others. This team, there's a lot to be positive about. Well, obviously, there's a lot to be positive about Venezuelan basketball at the moment.
Corrales, just 26 years of age.
Yeah, they have a core.
And good reach from Silva. And a rush shot. A little bit of panic. And now Ortega. Ortega's shown us a little bit today. Wallen, another one for the future without question. She hits the 3-pointer.
There's 2, 3, 4 guys around the 21, 22, 24 type age. So that's a real positive for Venezuela. We're probably going to see Venezuela at these tournaments now for a while. They're always going to get better than this. That's the thing.
Well, Perez gets in, puts it up and in, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Mark call a timeout, because what was just an absolute blowout all of a sudden is just a 19-point lead, and if Venezuela can chip away a little bit more, they can start to believe again. Yep. Maybe not winning this game, but shortening that point differential and try to get into that 3-way tie. Of course, they would have to beat Spain. There is...
If she can add
Perez.
a real consistency from the 3-point line, and giving her the benefit. She's really put in a shift out there today. She's asking to come out. I mean, I would be asking to. I'm asking to come out for her. And I'm just looking at how hard she's had to work.
Soon misses and starting to get some breaks here. Ortega misses.
I wouldn't be surprised, Jeff, if Coach Ma lets this go and then uses it after the game.
We've got to keep it together, folks. 40 minutes.
Yeah. You know, it's all about that for here. It's all about this, and it's all about Rio. It's all about a lot of things in terms of that, and he'll be working all that stuff out.
He'll say, we were outscored 10-3 in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Potentially.
This is how good we could be, but Coach Silva's going to take the timeout.
Well, good fight back from Venezuela. I think as you look at national team programs across the board, it doesn't matter what region you're talking about. You have these moments where you think, okay, this is how good I have to be. And I think this is one of these moments for Venezuela. They've made it this far, and now they've gone up against a real giant of Asia. And they say, right now we're not playing Chile. We're not playing Mexico. We're playing a team that we want to be like. And this is the gap that exists.
And then,
every team has this moment, you know, even Serbia's men at the FIBA Basketball World Cup in 2014. Everybody thought they had a chance. You saw that long streak without scoring there. Everybody thought they had a chance going up against USA, but they got run out of the gym. And afterwards it was like, well, now we know what we have to do. So,
and you're so right. There's those moments where you've seen that historically, and it's not just down to Coach Silva, it's the organization has said, what do we need to do that? It's not just about preparing, it's about what happens for 12 months. It's how do we help players? What do we do to make Perez a world-class international player? And what do we do to make Silva be able to grow with it? What do we do? And that's get them in the right club programs. It's all about work.
And what about our youth team? How good is our youth? How good is our under 16? How good is our under 18 team? So all of these things.
Yep.
When you look at, for example, China, when you look at Spain, they tick all the boxes, don't they?
Absolutely tick all the boxes, and it's
France.
I know, and that's the thing about our men have done it. So we have the bodies, we have the potential. Now what do we do? What do we have to do that across the ball, top to bottom? But they've always got guys like this, Perez with the ball. They've always got guys like that to say, you could be her, you can be like her. How can we help her?
Well, she drills another three. Got her feet set. She looks comfortable out there.
She looks tired but comfortable. That's a shift. She's going to end up playing something like 38 minutes here today.
18 points is the deficit. And Silva got a hand on that. She's really done well in the second half. Oh, almost a travel. And certainly Silva's asking for the travel. So Sun scores and takes it back to a 20-point advantage coming up on the 1 minute mark. Perez again, this time a little long with Wallen there for the attempted putback, and again, gets blocked. Great play from Sun, and then Xiaoting drives in, and great hustle from Perez. And you know, that sequence with Wallen, look at this. This is where perhaps she's got to learn something.
Absolutely, and it's like, yeah, maybe I can get the first one away, but no. But then once she realized she was blocked the first time, that's like, unless I have a move here that's going to draw contact, let's spend 14 seconds with it, try and get another look. I'm not sure if Perez got back or hadn't got forward. You know, it's quick hands, though.
Yeah.
And we're talking a lot about Perez, but Silva is she has an incredible engine.
Yeah, she's got quite a motor.
Oof.
It's easy to see why she was the defensive player of the year in Spain, in the Liga Femenina. Here she is, ball in her hands, passes back outside. And Ortega drives in. And a foul called. Will it be on China? Yes, it will be.
That's silver again, just outworking people. And it may sound like to an extent we're highlighting all the positives that Venezuela can take out, but the biggest thing for China for me is it's a 1-to-12 player performance. They have literally kept that relentless level up because Coach Ma's got his resources, he's managed them, he's put people into games, and they've all gone in and kept that level of intensity where he needs it to be.
Wallen hits the jumper. You really got to include her in that mix of core players, the way she's done tonight or this afternoon. And Sun puts up another three. And that is it. So 18-point deficit. I think if anything, it tells you two things. It was decisive for China, but it also showed a refusal to stop playing by Venezuela. They were down by 29, and they got it back to an 18-point deficit. So good for them. They'll have another game left. 77-59. China win it over Venezuela. And statistically, as you look at it, you can see the 7 threes from China. Some of those stats may be skewed now at the end of the game because it seemed kind of like China took their foot off the pedal a little, but they certainly controlled the boards for long stretches, and they got out on a lot of fast breaks.
Well, I think the 30% is what you'd expect China to shoot from the three-point line. There's one or two guys that got hot, especially in the second and third periods. Venezuela's shooting percentages, that was skewed late in the game. They made more shots, and maybe the little bit of relaxation, if you want, defensively, gave Venezuela that opportunity. Perez, with her 23 points, sort of announces herself, and Sun and Xiaoting, and the names from China you'd expect to came up with numbers did, but for me it's the fact that's a team. The China have depth, they have people who can come in and contribute, and that was the overriding thing. They were just relentless and wore down a Venezuela team on the way up, and they've got to take a positive and keep building in the right way.
Well, they'll play Spain, as will China. And China start off 1-0 here at the FIBA Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament. They win at 77-59. Thanks for watching, everybody.
天中国队的发挥还是非常不错，但是在第一节的时候打得有点紧，我们是怎么样做出一个调整？
的确，就像大家看到。